And we're live. Welcome to today's session, guys, where we're going to be talking about how to rank on Google's AI overviews, a topic that I'm sure many have spoken about before, but we're going to run over it again today because there has been quite a lot of talk about it in recent times. And yeah, it's an interesting subject. Everyone thinks that SEO is dead. And obviously, organic search positions are getting further and further down, but the AI overview is there. And I think it's something that any SEO should be looking at going, right, how the hell do I get myself into those positions? But before we go into things, do check out the news guy. The link is below. He's the channel sponsor and well worth looking at if you're looking for press releases and everything else that Randy does. And he's also a fairly knowledgeable guy as well. Don't tell him I said that, but he does have a good all round good all round SEO experience. He's at events, he's in masterminds, he's always lurking around trying to keep on top of the game, which is something I've got respect for anyone who does that. So yeah, that is Randy. But Dean Signori is here as well. Good to see you, Dean. Long time no see.
Hey, Dean.
But yes, AI overview. Randy, you sent across some links from the infamous John Mueller and search engine.
Yeah. So I thought this was kind of an interesting topic just to kick around. I'd love to hear as well comments from folks who are listening as well. So just to, to get an idea, obviously we're in this age of, excuse me, AI overview. Meaning, and you do the search and boom, there's a AI search result that's sitting right on top. And I think it's pretty critical to understand how you can get in that or be cited in those AI overviews because I don't know, I had seen something. Oh, this was a while ago, several weeks ago, and talking about clickless searches and the increase in the amount of searches that are done without without, I don't know what that is. Is that an emoji? Yeah.
Emoji, yeah.
Yeah. But the number of searches that are done without clicks, going after them. And because people are just getting their answers right out of the AI search result or out of the AI overview. So, but the idea is hopefully you can entice enough information and then somebody will click in off of your citation, let alone kind of scroll down and see what else is in there. So, trying to understand how you get in that AI overview, I think is I don't know. I think that's pretty critical right now. Have you had much success at doing it?
So I think I mentioned to you before, me and a fellow friend were just messing around. We always like to one up in each other, and we'd done some stuff on the kind of best UK SEO speakers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we'd done it for a laugh just to see if it would get picked up, and it did. Because the big thing for me is, and again, I always mention this, but going back to Perplexity is, obviously it shows you where information has been pulled from. So we were looking at, certain things and we're going, right, you need to be placed on here, here, here. And we tried it. We basically just made a spreadsheet. He done some, I done some. And it was like Dean saying, press releases are the go-to for that. So like I've said to many other people, the job, I'm not saying the job is, but the job for that is not to write in your own blog. You know, most people always think, oh, I've got to have all this information on my own site. It's got to be on a third-party website, you know, a trusted source, if you like, which is why, you know, the likes of press releases and stuff like that are the go-to for this. Will that change? Maybe. We don't know, you know, if there will be a change in terms of what is seen as a trusted source. But for the here and now, you know, we were basically just getting, I'm not saying any old fucking crappy website, but we're trying to do it to a certain standard. You know, it couldn't be the old £10 ones. We did, you know, one Medium and shit like that as well. But we tried to go after some of the kind of higher tier guest posts, if that makes sense. And, you know, there's obviously the usual parasite stuff and all that as well, which was working. So that for us worked well and got us what we needed to get. But the danger is, when does that change? Do we wake up tomorrow and you know, the trusted sources have changed? Do they rotate? You know, what is going to go on with that? Because surely to God, you know, the minute that someone says, let's just say, for example, Business Insider and fucking Market Watch and something else are the go-to places for that, every Tom, Dick and Harry is going to be smashing the fucking shit out of that. So there's no way that Google could just rely solely on that long term. There's just no way. So that's the thing that I would get concerned about is that going to change, and what's it going to change to? But you talk about, Randy, and some football fans here will relate to this. This is how bad the AI overview is at times. So there's a footballer in Spain, and his name's Sergio Guardiola. And I googled something along the lines of Sergio Guardiola's dad, and the AI overview came up saying Sergio Guardiola's dad is Pep Guardiola, who's the Manchester City manager. Now, I wasn't sure if that was his dad or not. Now, after research, it's not. It's not, but they've just got the same name. However, AI overview said it was, and I'm like, fuck. So that's pulled that from somewhere, and you're like, it's just pulled it out of his ass. So it wasn't his dad, but I was just fucking around. I don't know why Sergio Guardiola's name came up, but I was looking around and it gave the wrong information. So that's the other thing as well. Can you wholly trust it? That's my
Is it accurate? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna do this. I have to post it here, I think. Is how to rank in AI overviews. 11 tips for organic visibility. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Number 1. I'm gonna put it. I can't put it in directly in the on this platform, so I'm putting my over in YouTube. Number 1, add more context to your articles. All right. So the AI overviews are designed to answer queries directly, right? So meaning rewarding content that's well contextualized and written in simple, easy to read formats. So put good context to the answer or to the inquiry as much as possible. This is the thing too that I didn't realize until I was digging into this a little bit of understanding, is that the content that is shown in the AI overview, 52% of that is from information that's found in the top 10 organic search results, so meaning on the first page, right? So 52%, but you flip that around that says, well, 48% of the content in the AI overviews is on sites that are not on the first page. So, you know, it's like, wow, you know, now all of a sudden when you flip it that way, it makes you think, well, how do you get that information then? It's not just being in top and organic results, but it's around the content and how you structure the content and other things, I think, that are going to have an impact on it. So anyway, I thought that was pretty good.
That's interesting you say that, though. Like, I get
Yeah.
the higher percentage would, of course, come from the top 10 search results, but it's interesting how you know, the 48% comes from wherever else.
Deeper. Yeah.
Yeah.
So deeper. So it makes you think about, well, okay, so even though your site or a page may not necessarily be, ranking for whatever reason in the top 10, but it still, if you put good content, good in contextually answering the question, you have a greater likelihood of showing up in the AI overview. The next one, number 2, use long tail keywords, not short tail, not specific. So they're more likely to be triggered. AI overviews are more likely to be triggered by long tail keywords than generic short ones. So it's all, again, thinking about answering those informational questions, right? Which I thought was kind of good, makes sense. How about this? I'm going to throw this one in here. My man, Terry Samuels will like this. Leverage structured markup or schema, right?
Yeah.
Because, so obviously implementing the structured data, it's going to help the search engine understand the context and structure of your content better. So the more steps, the more that you can do that, the greater likelihood that you'll show up in the AI overview. And then specifically using markup types like FAQ, article schema, and breadcrumb schema to improve all of those things.
Yeah, I would think that would make perfect sense. So far, overall, I think that seems to be reasonable.
Yeah. Now, a couple of these other things are. What do you think about schema anyway? Are you a big schema guy? Are you a schemer believer?
I'm not saying I disbelieve it, but I don't think it gives as much weight as certain people think it does. You know, can I rank without schema? Absolutely. You know, so it's one of those things where, do you go bollocks deep into schema and add it and all that kind of stuff? You know, what is the, you know, what for what reason? You know, I could spend, I don't know, 100 hours implementing that across a big website, and what am I going to get out of it? So I'm not saying it doesn't work, but is it the be all and end all? Is it a big important signal? For me at the moment, it's not. But is that going to change as we go further down the line?
Well, that's what I think. So in all of this aspect of trying to say, how do you get into AI overviews? I think the more that you can, again, just be able to tell the search results or tell Google immediately, this is what this page is about. This is what this content is about. And doing that schema, it just gives you more, I guess, real estate to occupy and provide information to the search engine, right? So
here's my honest answer, Randy. I think schema came out too early previously. See, when people were talking about add schema, it wasn't weighted heavily for there and then. So why add it? You know, no one else was fucking adding it. So did you have to add it? You know, if you look at local websites, a lot of them didn't have it. However, I think going forward, I think it will be big. You know, I really do think it will become a big thing. And if you're not doing it, are you going to miss out on that stuff? I do believe that, I fully believe that Google, even when it comes to knowledge panel stuff and joining the dots, between all the kind of entities, I think all of those things are massively important, and Google are giving a lot of importance to that. And I do think schema will, whatever notch they decide to turn up, I think that will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm a big believer in schema, and I have seen it similar to what Joe over there at Ladig was saying. Is that, man, if you're on page 2 or 3, doing schema effectively can push you up into page 1. And this is where the thing. And so you even made the comment that can you rank a page or a site without schema? Yes, you can. But what do you have to do? It all comes back to, and I always kind of think about Ted Kabatis, he's like, hey, you got to do, minimal viable SEO, right? What is the least amount of things that you can do, and whether it's buying links or doing all of this other stuff that we do in order to get the results that you want. And I think schema could allow you to again kind of begin to minimize the amount of activity you have to do on your site, and whether that means how many backlinks you got to get, or pieces of content you got to put in, or any of that stuff. So yeah, Michael, go ahead, ask a question, throw it in there. And I did see Rohit says, hey, but they removed, Google removed breadcrumb from mobile search results snippets. That is true, but we're talking about mobile. I'm talking about AI overview, and breadcrumb schema is a benefit in that aspect, even though it's not going to show up necessarily in the search on mobile. But again, if you have that breadcrumb schema on your site, it's going to provide the ammunition in order to rank on or be mentioned in the AI overview. All right. So while
Michael's coming, look at this from Matthew Marley.
Absolutely. Yep.
He is a local guy to me, and very experienced and all that good stuff. But his experience is saying brand PR mentions are the biggest mover when it comes to AI overview. They spend around 15K per month on one website, and it's now frequently included in the AI overviews. So, Matthew, I'm not going to say where he works or anything. It's not fair to do that, but he's seen that, and he's a guy that's been around the industry for a long time, and I think something like that adds to the mix. Do you think that's the case as well, Randy?
Absolutely. We're gonna get to it in the list of 11. So, but yeah, Matthew is right on target, man. Right on target, brother. I love it. Here's Michael's question. I was writing my own schema before the last update. It may have been a little over optimized. I don't know. I have seen, like, Terry Samuels is just a whiz ninja on schema, and I have seen like pages that they have done with schema that is like 100 pages worth of JSON code for schema. And so I don't know that you can over optimize, but what I got wiped out for everything. And now feeling a bit, I want to go back and do it again. What schema type should be on all my pages? Well, my advice would be, I think you do site-wide schema, and then depending upon what the page is, then you do FAQ schema. I think you do FAQ schema as well on the homepage. But if it's an article, you do article schema and FAQ schema on that. Do site-wide schema. If it's a local site, you can do local schema. Certainly do breadcrumb schema on the homepage as well. So you can stack all of those schemas and do all kinds of fun stuff with it.
I like what Joe said. You can mess things up with the same schema on all pages. I think that's a problem. So, like for me, let's say it's my About Me page. I want About Me or About Us schema on there. I don't want to fucking have everything else on there. If it's relevant to the page, then fair dues. But do you just go and stack it high just for the sheer hell of it? I think you're it's just spammy as shit, if that makes sense. And in my opinion, but yeah.
Yeah. So you can do like site-wide schema, which is kind of safe to do across the whole site. But yeah, absolutely. You got to look kind of at every page, and that can be a bit, tedious, to say the least. And I think depending upon what the page is or the importance of that page to your site, clearly is what you would want to invest from a time standpoint. And I'm not going to pitch his program, but I will tell you, Jesper Nielsen has got a great schema writing tool. Go check that out, which makes schema writing really, I think, pretty, well, we use it. It makes it a hell of a lot easier to implement schema.
Yeah. Nah, why not? If you can make life easier, then happy days. Take advantage of clever guys who make that shit. But Matthew's saying as well, just to expand on his last point, he has multiple websites, all of a similar age, authority, and all that stuff. The ones that they haven't invested heavily in digital PR don't get featured, which kind of proves his theory. So I would go along the lines of that, saying that potentially citations for yourself, by those brand mentions or whatever, if you want to call it citations. But I would kind of think that would be the case. But Nerdy is here, and what's the name of the tool, Jesper's tool?
Schemawriter.ai. Go check it out. Schemawriter.ai. All right, so we got to get down through our list. Number 4, I put it up in the comments already. Optimize on-page SEO, right? So it's still, still very critical, optimizing your on-page aspect. And I'll throw some pointers in here on what that would look like. Oh shit, I think I got too much. But back to that point, remember what I was saying, that is that AI overviews, that 52% of overviews come from the top 10 search results. But again, kind of keep, man, I got too much. I was throwing all this text in there. I didn't know you had a limit of what the amount of text you could put into a YouTube comment. Did you know that?
I had no clue. No clue.
So I just threw this little stat in here about the 52% thing. But, some basic kind of best practices: use primary, secondary keywords and titles and headings and subheadings, basic kind of stuff. Get your meta descriptions down and all of that fun stuff, right? So good on-page optimization. Here is something as well. Number 5, target keywords with low difficulty. And the research has proven out that the majority of AI overviews come from keywords and or long tail keyword phrases that have a 20 or less keyword difficulty ranking. As a matter of fact, on average, they are 12. Now you're going to get to this here in a minute, and I'll even kind of talk more about this. But Number 6, I'm going to roll into this, and Matthew is right on there. I think it's the brand credibility. So I've been working, with our clients really almost with a focus on this for the last year with my SEO clients, which is just really building that brand authority. And so you got to kind of think about that around full circle, right? Full deck. What does that mean? What are you doing for building brand authority or brand credibility? And it's all of those things, right? So being sure you've got a big footprint across the web, doing stuff, like what Matthew is talking about, digital PR, doing PR, so that you're listed on all of these good authoritative sites linking to you, but your brand is primary. Sending a lot of good branded traffic, branded links to your homepage. I think all of those kinds of things you can think of, from both content production, where you're distributing content, how you're distributing content around the brand is pretty critical. I don't know. What do you think, Craig?
I absolutely agree. I think, I've said it before. We've seen a lot of affiliate websites decimated in recent years. And I do firmly believe that some of those were decimated because they don't have any branded search. They're not real credible businesses. No one's searching for that brand name. It was, and I think that's a big trust signal. So absolutely, I've spoken about it a lot of times, even in recent times at conferences. I've been talking about building a personal brand or just building a brand in general. I've worked with people, like yourself or other previous sponsors and stuff to help grow and build their brand. And I think these are all the right things you would expect for any business to do. And if a website's not get any kind of brand search, I think Google would very quickly be able to say that that's not a credible business. If no one's searching for it and it's not building up that, go. You're not getting your rankings. So I could be wrong. As I say, I don't claim to know Google's algorithm or anything, but I do believe that branded search is a big trust signal in my own opinion. So
big signal, I think. Yes. I love Nigel's comment up there, and send that branded traffic, or like our friend Michael Merlino. I can't be quite as colorful as Michael, but
nah, it doesn't come out the same from anyone else. It's got to.
It doesn't have the same. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but man, that is absolutely, yeah.
Before we go on, I want to cover this for Michael. Would website, web page, and organization schema go on all pages? I would throw that question back, Michael, and say, would you have your business name on the title tag of all your pages? Is it required to be on all of those pages? Absolutely not. The title tag is for the page that is in question. Obviously, your business name would be in your homepage title tag. And I think for me, there would be some overlap on some of the pages, but I think depending on the page, you would put on the most relevant schema. I don't see there being any reason to have like organization schema on all of your pages. Absolutely not. Put them on pages that contain information about your organization, but I think you're wasting your time. Otherwise, that's just my own personal opinion on it. I just think it's spammy as hell, and I'm not a fan of it. And that's just the way that my brain works. Would you do that? Have your, because I've seen it loads of times. When you see someone's title tag, or you do a site audit, and it's like, 172 title tags have got duplicate content. It's because the person's stupidly got their business name and all the title tags. You're wasting space. You're wasting opportunity. And I see schema as being the same as that as well. Just give it what is relevant to the page. And if you do need to stack a couple because there's a couple of different opportunities on that page, then happy days. But I wouldn't be just stacking for the sheer hell of stacking and whacking it out across all pages.
No. Yeah. You've got, I completely agree. You've got to be judicious in the amount of schema, meaning the different types of schema that you're putting it everywhere on the page, because that is why there's, I don't even know how many. There's multiple different schema types that you can put on a page, and every page I think does. You can do that site-wide schema, which is a little more, it's thinned down, right? It's not massive because it is just telling a little bit about the site, and you can do that across all pages. But I think you've got to go much more specific on pages. Again, if it's an article, then do article. And if you've got FAQ on that article, which you should, do FAQ schema on that page as well. And you've got to be sure that you're doing specific FAQ schema and specific articles. So that schema is not just generic that's going to go on every article, but it's specifically about that article and those FAQs on that page.
Also, just one thing, just to tell the path to success and Mitwali, we don't want to switch up topics for that, but we do have other videos on GMB tips, so you can go to previous videos that do have GMB specific stuff. I appreciate, you obviously want to ask, but we're trying to, for this particular session, it's not like open-ended. We want to try and stay on the topic. So not ignoring you, but we do want to kind of stay on topic for the video.
Yeah. Hey, go hit the question that, is it Glitchson? Yeah. So a good question here. Can it also help with parasite SEO and doing on different sites and everything? Absolutely. I will tell you, we are doing some stuff where we're building cloud stacks or cloud sites with the map embed with schema on those things, or the iframe schema within that map. Super kick-ass. I have to tell you, that really is moving the needle. For local SEO, for map pack ranking. Ooh, strong.
Yeah.
But all right, you're ready? Here comes number 7. Number 7. Bum, bum, bum. Optimize for mobile SEO. And it's, and really you got to optimize. It's back kind of to the on-page thing and everything else. But, optimize for mobile search, because what is it? It's like, according to Ahrefs, mobile traffic accounts for 81% of AI overview citations.
Interesting.
So, optimize for mobile SEO. Now, because Ahrefs has some study out there that's like looking at like almost like a 500,000 searches or something like that, and so this is where some of this information is kind of coming from, a little bit from Ahrefs insights.
They have amazing amounts of data. So
no kidding.
It's one of those things. They probably should do more of that type of thing, because the data that these guys have got is insane. So, that's an interesting.
Yeah.
But
all right. More questions. Maybe we should do a whole show just on schema. Maybe we'll get Terry Samuels to come join us and just talk about schema with us. But I have a FAQ article about education. Should I write article and FAQ schema? Yes, that's exactly. Specifically on that page, right? So when you're building your schema, you're going to bring in all of the also also knows and types and bring in some wiki links as well that's relative to that specific content on that page. The FAQs. So when you're doing FAQ schema, you're actually kind of building that schema to like, here is the question, right, that you're going to have in your FAQ, and then you're putting in the response on it. I love FAQ schema. It's great. So if you're doing FAQ on your pages, we're going to get to FAQ here in a second, I think. Maybe not. But yes, absolutely. The way that you're throwing it out right there is what you should do.
Randy, quick question here from Path to Success. Would you use the rank math stuff, or would you make your own schema?
So this is my impression. Yeah, you could use rank math. Do rank math if you're not doing anything else, but I think you can get much better results by doing a much more in-depth schema, though, of your own. And using a tool like Jesper's tool is really a pretty good in-depth schema. But yeah, the rank math and the stuff that you're going to find on rank math or on Yoast is just minimal. I mean, I would just call that as minimal schema.
Minimal schema makes
minimal
sense.
That's minimal schema, right? All right, so number 8 I just threw up there. Boom. Format content for easy scanning, right? And so
what would that mean? Like table of contents, nice headers and shit, so
bullet
that you
points,
can just,
right? So you don't want the block of billboard of content, right? Nobody's gonna, I mean, it's common sense stuff, right? So do bullet points, numbered lists, short paragraphs, sentences or paragraphs with only like 2 or 3 sentences at most in it. Break up long, big blocks of long text with some visual elements, throw in some charts or images, things like that, bullet points, the numbered list. But yeah, I think easy scanning, but you still got to get to the answer of whatever the search intent, the inquiry is, right? So, and AI overviews especially are informational searches. So, you got to get the answer to that informational search immediately. Yeah, bolding, italics, all of that stuff. Yep.
And Michael's saying you can also add your own templates inside rank math.
Yes, for scheming. Yeah, you can do that.
I don't use rank math. It blew up my website twice. So I'm pretty sure it was my website and not rank math, to be fair. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, but I stay well clear of that, man.
Probably. All right, number 9, boom, focus on simplicity.
That's a very generic
meaning content that is written in plain, accessible language tends to perform better in AI overviews.
Yeah. I've always spoke that way anyway. I just don't have the technical ability to talk in technical jargon. But nah, I think always trying to keep things simple and easy is how I would like to learn things. And it's how I've always tried to, when I'm, telling people things, I try and always keep it plain and simple. So it's the best way to do it, because we've seen very, very technical SEO guys talking, and people in the industry are like, what the fuck's that guy talking about? What the fuck is he saying? So
but and keep in mind as well, you're trying to just to get to the answer, right? So that somebody is making an informational query, right? They're looking for it, like what's a good, blah blah blah. How do I blah blah blah? What is blah blah? Right? So these informational queries, and so just simple, get to the answer quick and simple. Don't overcomplicate it. That's what's going to be effective. And again, this is all very specific. I think it's good SEO principles as well, but the focus is how do we get in the AI overview? Number 10, acquire high quality backlinks. Somebody says that to you. What's that?
You think links has a say on the AI overview? You think build I don't know if I get it. You know, obviously building high quality links is going to get you the high DR and authority and everything else, but I don't know if that's kind of misleading to the point where someone might think I can grab any old website and I can just build links to it and it's going to appear in the AI overview, if that makes sense. I think there's a lot more to it.
Well, but it's like, that's why it's number 10 on the list, right? There's all of this other stuff you got to do, but authoritative backlinks. So it's all of this stuff. It's exactly even what we just talked with Matthew in regards to the digital PR and PR, right? So if your brand is getting mentioned and is getting linked to from high quality authoritative sites, bam, yeah, right there. It's rolled into brand building, right? You're going to perform better overall. High quality backlinks. I mean, and you know, are you saying that backlinks aren't important anymore, Craig?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm not saying that. I just think when people...
It's not the only thing, yes.
When people say things like this, I think there's no context to it. You know, there is kind of context to it, but there's not. I think that could be quite misleading. Whoever, you know, when you're writing that, you're going, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. It's not that I don't agree with it overall. I think, you know, links are always going to be important from an SEO perspective. But I think, you know, trying to suggest that that's the case to get into AI overview, I think is a slightly misleading, if that makes sense. But as I say, if you tick all of the other kind of stuff off, you know, that would be down there with a, you know, they could have said.
I do believe it's part of the answer.
Yeah, a small part, but high quality backlinks. You know, you could have said something like acquire fucking high quality digital PR, and you might have been closer to giving the right answer. You know, high quality backlinks. You know, what is that? You know, I think that's a very, very horrible word. The way that's been worded, because that could mean fucking go on there and get a fucking £10 thing on all Buzz Sumo or whatever.
A little more generic than what you want. Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, no, that's my point. But no, backlinks have always been an important part of the internet. You can call what you do backlinks, brand awareness. You know, there's different names for what you do, but high quality backlinks. Yeah, I'm not sure the choice there was great.
Well, the idea though is, so you think of it, focus on, you've got to acquire backlinks, and so focus on quality versus quantity, right? So you know, so the more that you can do from, you know, good authoritative publications or other authoritative sites that as well, that can be in the particular niche even that you're working with, but that are good quality sites like that, help build your brand, your site's brand and authority. You know, it improves your domain rating, you know, DR. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right. There we go.
Doesn't it feel like optimizing for AIO is the same as optimizing for rich snippets, and you need to be a recognizable brand? Potentially.
I have to tell you, I think I completely agree with that. I think it's a little more, it's kind of like where we were with rich snippets and thinking like, okay, how do you go out and go grab rich snippets. I think it is a little bit of that same kind of mentality or tactic, but as well, like smack your brand and just really blow the brand up as well. I think, kind of gets you there. I don't know. All right, here's number. Huh?
I was going to say, I agree with you. I think AIO or AEO, answer engine optimization.
I know. All right, here's number 11. Last one, publish timely, relevant content. The AI overviews often favor fresh, up-to-date information. So I think the more that you can regularly update your articles and blog posts to be sure that they stay current.
I kind of don't know if I agree with that either, Randy. Right? I'll tell you why. I mean, I'm not saying don't publish timely, relevant content, but AI, the information that it's pulling, like Claude pulls information up until like April 2024. So that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like the new content that you publish is not going to get picked up by AI for like 9 months, if that makes sense.
But that's doing an AI search. We're talking about like on Google for an AI overview search.
Yeah, but AI
right?
overview, where is that pulling from? How do we know that's live data? So Claude, for example, only has information.
Well, it's pulling from Gemini, right?
Yeah, but is that real time? Is that data up to date?
According to Google, it is.
No, I don't know the answer to that, but yeah, with AI, how far, where is it pulling the information from, and how current is it? Makes sense.
You can't. I don't know if I can share my screen. Can I share my screen?
Should be able to.
Yeah. So to give you, you're like, hey, what, so I just put in, right? So this was just decided last night, yesterday's football games here in the States. What are the teams playing in the Super Bowl in 2025? So the Super Bowl, which is in 2 weeks. And here it is. Want to know the Super Bowl? Kansas City Chiefs, the winner of the AFC against the Philadelphia Eagles. So that just was decided yesterday.
Yeah, so that is pulling them clearly from the Yahoo Sports. So it is pulling.
Yeah,
it is pulling pretty much real time information. No, that's good to know. I always just assumed it was like the same as ChatGPT or whatever. It'd be pulling older information up to a certain point.
Yeah. So I do think now, I don't know if you had asked that same question over on ChatGPT and what it's going to spin out for you, but Google's Gemini, though, in search, like what I've just shown here, is pretty current. Well, as you can see, I mean, this is like I don't know, less than 12 hours or so away, or 18 hours ago is when that was decided. So
Philadelphia. So I've just done it, Randy. I've done it in ChatGPT 4.0, and it's given that same answer. So, but it did say
the same answer.
Searching the web. So it is pulling certain. I think it can search the web as well. So yeah.
So I think in the AI platforms like ChatGPT or Perplexity, if you're using it in the like search the web information, I think it'll give you timely. But if you're using it for research on content creation, I think you're going to have some delay on that.
Yeah, because that's where that 6-month delays.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I'm pretty sure Claude was something like fucking April or something 2024. Because I was asking it something, and it's like we only go as far back as whatever the date was.
Mhm.
But no, that's interesting that it can search real-time data.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
as I say, either
Yep.
way, I think AI, regardless of what it stands like just now, is going to fucking blow up
Yeah.
massively and get better and better and better all the time. So, yeah.
So I just put in the chat in there as well. So all of this is a good article, I thought, whether you completely agree or not, but the search engine journal and where all of these tips came from in regards to oh, you can't do a let me see if I can.
Put it in the private chat and I can copy
Yeah,
it in.
that's how I was like, oh, I can't do it in a I gotta go. Okay. Well, now I gotta go figure out where I can throw this in. Crazy. All right,
Or
hold on.
just, oh, yeah, private chat's here.
Oh, because I've got it on different computers. So I'm
Oh,
like, okay, well, how do I get it over onto that computer? But I got it figured out. Don't worry. All right. So that's going to do that. Let me go and open this up. And then, all right. So now I'll put this over. Oh, got to do it there. There we go. All right. So I put it in the private chat, Craig. So you can drop it into the overall.
oh, fuck. It's not even letting me do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's saying can't post messages to some channels. I don't know if that's
Oh,
just
there it
certain.
is.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that means. But
Yeah, I was just going to ask about this whole thing about Deepseek. Ooh, have you played around with it yet? I haven't yet.
I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole.
I'm a little skeptic about it because of, and
it's Chinese and it's free.
yeah, I know exactly, and it's open source. I'm a little like,
I
don't
wouldn't be
know.
touching it. But I could be wrong, but I've heard a lot of people saying the same thing. Like, I ain't touching that. You know, it's Chinese, it's free.
Yeah.
You know, that says it all, really. So
It sounds like it's just another way to like get more of my information over to the Chinese, like TikTok is doing.
they've probably got it all anyway. Like, you know, there's probably an
Well, that's
argument.
probably true. Yeah.
So yeah, I've just kind of not. I've seen it's not bad, guys. I've seen a few people talking about it, about using it and stuff like that, but nah, I've not bothered just yet. But if the reports,
have you even loaded it up yet at all? You haven't even launched it. I haven't either. Yeah, I know it.
It's I just want my AI agent to be loaded up, and I can do my thing, mate. There's just too many things now to be playing around with and get involved in. Asked it many times. It's slow as hell, but for general tasks, it's pretty fast. The benchmarks were almost matching ChatGPT's version. It will force OpenAI to lower their costs, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
I think, possibly. I mean, it's all right. And especially like the version that Chat's got, they're doing $200 a month or something like that. That is like crazy.
Yeah. It's scandalous, according to Black Hole Super Sloth. So, yeah, if it can force OpenAI to lower their costs, then it's maybe a good thing. But there's too much AI bullshit in the world at the moment.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know. My mind is just blown with the AI stuff right now. But I will tell you, the Deepseek though is like really creating ripples in the world on when you're talking about in the tech industry, and especially in the chip makers right now. I got to look at, these tech stocks like NVIDIA stock has dropped 16% today
Fuck.
because of Deepseek. Yeah. That's, so it's, good, bad, or otherwise, it's having an impact financially on some of these. Think about that. 16, I'm just over on the Wall Street Journal, says that 16% so far is $400 billion wiped out today from NVIDIA.
Jeez. That is a lot of money.
Almost rivals you, Craig.
Ah, no, I was about to say nearly rivals you. You got that in quicker than me.
Man.
But yeah, maybe rupees or something for me, but not normal money.
That is crazy. I mean, I have some NVIDIA. I've got a few of, like, Broadcom is another one of the tech stocks, chip stocks that I have. They probably are getting their butts chewed up as well. Probably getting spanked everywhere. Yeah. God, 16%. Oh.
That's not
Oh my
nice.
gosh. Yeah. And some of these other ones, like Broadcom is one of the other chip maker stocks that I have. They're down 18%. And then another one, Coherent, they're down 23%. Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
Ouch.
God.
Yeah.
That's mad.
All because of Deepseek. Because here's the thing. So Deepseek, if you think about the background on this thing. So Deepseek came out. They said, "Hey, here's our thing, and we're rivaling ChatGPT." It cost them just under $6 million to build it and to put it out there, right? But then you've got all of these companies, Meta, Microsoft, ChatGPT, have spent billions of dollars building out their various AI models, and and this is why all of this turmoil going on in the markets now around these tech stocks is like, well, did you need to spend all of that billions of dollars? What about these chips, these billions of dollars worth of chips you guys have been buying? Is that even necessary?
Yeah. Nah, it's madness.
That is madness. That is madness. Wow. All right. So there we go. So that's all I got for us today, brother.
Nah, that's all good. Interesting stuff. A good topic. And like you say, it could lead to other things like schema and whatever else. So yeah, it's always good to talk and see where it goes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But Franklin, you're late.
So crazy how fast it changes.
Yeah, it's just keeping up, mate. That's the hard part. Keeping up. But on that note, guys, we are out of time, so we will wrap up there. We will be back at the same time next week, talking about something completely different.
Hold on. I'm not going to be here next week.
So we're not going to be here next week.
I'm going to be at Affiliate World Summit in Vegas Monday through Wednesday of next week. If you're anybody going to be there, reach out to me. Let's connect for a drink or a dinner or something like that. But yeah, Affiliate Summit West.
Make him pay.
I think Dan Kurtz is going to be there, so it'll be good to connect with him.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. But before you go, guys, please do check out the news guy. The link is below. And make sure you do a like and subscribe. And if you've got anything else to add, please do add it in the comments as well. And we'll catch you in 2 weeks' time.
This is the last week for the beard as well.
About time too.
I'm trimming the beard on Friday. It's going away. I'm not taking it to Vegas.